But New Orleans attorney Scott Sternberg says that directive from LSU President F. King Alexander could violate Greek Life members' First Amendment rights. A 2012 report from economist Lauren Scott says about half the people inside Tiger Stadium come from outside the Baton Rouge metro. But more people in the city doesn't always mean better business. The plan, according to most Democrats and some Republicans, was to remove the Medicaid amendments from each bill and then take up Representative Walt Leger's House Bill 8 first. But that's not what happened. Well, there's division at the dinner table, the classroom, and now on the playing field. As political debate becomes more vicious, it seems it's almost impossible to escape uncomfortable confrontations with friends, family, and coworkers. The Senate will meet here again on Monday and could determine Brown's future for good. For the Manship School News Service from the State House, I'm Matt Houston. 6 months after the hazing-related death of LSU freshman and Phi Delta Theta pledge Max Groover, the Louisiana House Criminal Justice Committee approved a bill that would increase fines and jail time for hazing convictions. Groover's parents, Rayanne and Stephen Groover, told committee members that the measure could be a deterrent that keeps other families from experiencing their pain.
We wake up every day knowing that part of our family is gone and a part of our heart is missing.
Right now, hazing is a misdemeanor and carries a maximum 30-day jail sentence and a fine of up to $100. But Lafayette Republican Nancy Landry's bill, now named the Max Groover Act, would make hazing a felony and allow judges to sentence those convicted to up to 6 months jail time with a $1,000 fine. If a hazing victim suffers a serious injury or passes away, the penalty would increase.
The current law is not a deterrent. This bill will make it a deterrent. And Max's name will help with the education.
Baton Rouge District Attorney Hiller Moore, who's overseeing the Groover case, says the bill would allow prosecutors to seek hazing charges and be comfortable with its penalties instead of seeking stronger charges of negligence that are more difficult to prove.
It's easier for people to understand. It's easy for a jury to understand. It's the right thing to do.
The bill also works to hold organization and university administrators liable if they fail to report incidents of hazing. Landry says this is a step toward culture change in Louisiana.
We want Max's name to be the last name on that sad list on Wikipedia of list of hazing deaths. We want it to end and for people to be able to bond and join clubs without sadistic rituals that kill people.
The bill now moves to the House floor for debate. Most legislators expect it to pass. For LSU's Manship School News Service, I'm Matt Houston.
Oh, we're a relative. You're a relative of ours.
It was an unusual family reunion.
The people knew me, but I didn't know them. And, well, they knew because they see me in church every Sunday, and then somebody said, well, that's Charles Hill.
For the first time, some acquaintances called each other cousin at the Immaculate Heart of Mary Church in Maringouin, Louisiana.
It was Cornelius, who had a son named Austin, who had a son named Samuel, who had a daughter named Emily, my mother. So it wasn't that far removed, but yet it was information much more than we had ever heard.
That information was missing because Mary Williams Wagner is a descendant of Cornelius Hawkins, one of 272 slaves sold by Jesuit priests to Louisiana plantation owners in 1838 to help fund a church mission that would become Georgetown University.
I wish I'd known this growing up. Would my life have been different? I don't know, but I think it would have helped me to have that sense of connection.
This weekend, GU 272 descendants traveled to Maringouin near the West Oak plantation where many of their ancestors worked and died to piece together their family's story. What Williams Wagner found is that many of those descendants remained faithful to the church that betrayed them.
This practice that you so value is the one that did so much harm to you and your family. I don't know how you do that.
Still, the descendants used the same church Cornelius Hawkins attended to discuss seeking reparations and to record oral histories so the next generation will know their cousins. For the Manship School News Service in Maringouin, I'm Matt Houston. The special legislative session is over and work unfinished. In 14 days, lawmakers could not cover a cent of the billion-dollar budget shortfall created by the expiration of temporary taxes in June.
Sine die.
Unfortunately, because of some obstructionists in the House, the legislature has failed those students, failed those parents, failed that single mom, and countless others across the state of Louisiana.
Kenner Republican Julie Stokes says it doesn't matter who shoulders the blame as long as some legislators care more about advancing the interest of their party's agenda instead of the people's.
When you can't agree on a common problem, you can't find a solution. And that's where we are now. The disingenuous rhetoric has rendered this problem.
The last of many disagreements in the session amplified mistrust in the House when legislators could not compromise over the order of the votes on the floor Sunday.
I'm ready to move this bill right now. Either I have the votes or I don't have the votes.
Edwards said he plans to end the regular session early and call another special session in May to try and spare the state from dramatic budget cuts. That would be the 6th special session in 2 years. Representative Stokes says the last 2 weeks were filled with more vitriol than she's seen in her time in the Capitol, but that the voice from the center of the aisle will grow louder.
And we need to search for that radical middle group of peacemakers that want to see an honest dialogue, an objective solution, and respect for each other.
The regular session begins next Monday, and few legislators seem optimistic the House can repair some of the damage done during this session.
It's kind of just the way things have gone around here, I guess.
For Tiger TV from the state capitol, I'm Matt Houston.
Welcome to Newsbeat. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm Nadine Abusada.
And I'm Matt Houston. Thank you for joining us. Gates open at 5. Kickoff is set for 7. Not to be outdone by football's return to Saturday night in Death Valley, the LSU baseball team will spend a weekend at Cliff Hagan Stadium to take on the number 14 Kentucky Wildcats. We come to you with breaking news. A grand jury has returned indictments for several LSU students connected to the death of Maxwell Groover. LSU is helping those Texas Tigers get back on their feet after Tropical Storm Harvey. President King Alexander sent an email to all students expressing sympathy for any loss they may have experienced and offered academic, financial, and emotional assistance. And later, see which state wants to make medical marijuana available to patients during school hours. For you whiskey enthusiasts in Louisiana, Caneland Distilling Company is shipping in whiskey in the style of the 1800s, right down the Mississippi River.
So Matt, tell me about your steamy first kiss.
You know, my parents watch this show. I'm gonna avoid doing that. I have never seen a Harry Potter movie.
How have you lived?
You know, I really don't know, but it's been a pitiful life. She's the longest reigning monarch since her great-great-grandmother, Queen Victoria. Queen Elizabeth broke the record by being on the throne for almost 64 years. The Queen celebrated the occasion as an ordinary working day by unveiling a new plaque to commemorate the Queen's walkway. Another financial concern that could be on college students' minds, an increase in alcohol taxes. But students won't be the only ones with finances on the rocks. And we have some breaking news. The man arrested for shooting 2 Southern University students at the cottages has been arrested again. Ernest Felton was arrested for leaving the jurisdiction while on bond without court permission.
Everyone has their dream engagement proposal, and yours likely doesn't include food.
Mine does, but there's a trend on social media where loved ones are surprising their significant others with engagement rings inside avocados.
The green proposal idea is trending on social media with the hashtag avocado proposal. I would be happy.
Okay. The 7-time Grammy Award winner was famous for songs such as When Doves Cry, Little Red Corvette, and won an Academy Award for his song Purple Rain. Prince was 57.